Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a few stocks that I am planning on buying today. Alright, so this video should be coming out on Monday, so technically I'm not buying them today, but by the time you are actually able to watch this video, I will have bought them. So the first one is ASML. So these stocks just happen to be all tech. I generally like tech. I'm not all invested in tech, but you know, at least since when was this? This entire year, basically since January 1st, a lot of these tech stocks are actually the lowest prices they've been. ASML is one of them. They have a pretty high PE, a forward PE of around 40, I believe. Of course, it's not going to load right at the beginning of the video. That always looks great for all the new viewers. Yeah, the PE is 40, which seems high, but most of the time I've been eyeing this stock, it's actually been in the 50s or higher, near 60s. I'm just assuming it was up there. So this ASML, what they do is they're invested in the AI space in the sense that NVIDIA gets all of their parts from TSM parts. I'm putting that. It's more complicated than that, but they get all their equipment, their blueprint that they make the AI chips from TSM, and TSM gets a lot of their stuff from ASML. It is required, a lot of the equipment that's required to do what they do, TSM to do what they do, they need from ASML, and TSM or NVIDIA requires it from TSM as well. I hold a lot of TSM. TSM is actually my highest holding monetarily, both percentage and total number. That's kind of how percents work. But anyways, I'm saying that to myself, not you guys, because that was just a dumb way of phrasing it. But Schwab thinks it's going to perform mid. This is more a long-term play for me, a 3 to 5 year hold, rather than, oh, I think this stock's super undervalued. And let's get into the next one, which is in a very similar sense. They do basically the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's also required for TSM. TSM needs supplies from AMAT to do what they do, so therefore NVIDIA needs it as well. This the last company, ASML, right here, is I believe a Dutch company. Alright, not showing up here, Schwab. Come on, you're really making me look bad. I should have had them queued up there. Gosh, I can't even type. What was I saying? Yeah, TSM requires stuff from AMAT as well. So, and Schwab is a lot more high on this one. I think I was saying ASML was Dutch. This one is American, so a little bit less risk there. Not that there's anything wrong with Dutch companies, but that's just, you know, how it goes. So this one's PE is actually significantly lower. So I guess if you're looking for just a short-term pop and a little bit less risk with high PE, this is one I would be looking at as well. Also, if you want to get in on that AI thing without just purely buying NVIDIA, there's ways, right? You can buy things around NVIDIA. You can buy Microsoft and Google and Apple. I know Apple doesn't really buy a whole lot from NVIDIA, but they're going to be doing similar AI stuff, right? That's a play. You could buy SMCI, which is getting investigated by the Department of Justice. But aside from that, they create infrastructure around both the AMD and the NVIDIA AI chips. And infrastructure, it sounds like, oh, it's just a metal box, which I'll do a video on that separately. But it's a lot more important than that. I work basically in a data center, and stuff like that's so important. Infrastructure literally costs my company tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And we are not a particularly large company at all. But anyways, they beat consistently. They're super important. Their moat is wide. I'd give it a 9 or a 10. And Schwab thinks it's going to do well. So I like Applied Materials a lot. Another company this is the one I'm buying the least amount of. I can never type things in right. Adcore. You've probably never heard of this company. They're very small, at least for my metrics. So just around $3 billion, although when I bought them, well, you see, when I bought them, when it was double the price, right? I didn't all buy right there. I bought closer to right here, but the PE is incredibly low. They're just a smaller company, and they've not been projected to grow at all, and people have just really poured out of there. But I mean, you're getting it so cheap. You're literally, if you buy this company, so the S&P 500 average PE is 27. This is 6. You're literally getting it more than 4 times cheaper, nearly 5 times cheaper, right? Somewhere in between 4, so 4.5 times cheaper than buying the S&P 500. Now, if you trust this company enough to do that, that's up to you, right? They pay actually a decent dividend now. It used to not to be much of anything, but when the company halves, it becomes a lot more significant. I think long term they'll be fine. They do infrastructure, but most of their big hit has come from solar panel and solar panel related infrastructure and things like that. So yeah, this is a cheap stock. I'm just DCAing a little bit. Luckily, when I did buy it, I was actually one of the lowest purchases I've ever made of a company. I barely put anything in, so it's really good to DCA in. If you're really worried about it, just put a little bit DCA in as well. I'm not telling you to do that, but if you like it, of course, this is not financial investment advice. Do not sue me for any words I say in this video. Thank you. And then the last one I'm going to be buying is, I'm blanking out. Oh, here it is, of course. Fabrinet. You've also probably never heard of this one. I bought a little bit of it. I was eyeing it like right around here, and I didn't pull the trigger. So now I'm going to have to get in a lot higher, unfortunately. But this is also a small company, around $9 billion. They are near all-time highs, right? But I mean, if you look at this 5-year chart, 308%. Look at this 10-year chart. I mean, just insane. They've more than 10x'd. Nearly 12.5x'd over the last decade. That is nuts. And the PE is only 30. I think the forward PE is 27. Let's take a peek. Of course. I think we've got looked at Fabrinet forward PE, but who cares, right? 24. So this is about the S&P 500 average, roughly. I like the stock. They do more. They do like optical packaging, precision optical, electromechanical stuff. This is actually probably one I know least about, but I'm also not putting too much into it. I'm going to continue to research this company, but a company that's doing just this well, man, And if I'm just putting a little bit in. So usually I like to do a little bit more in-depth research, but also it's a lot harder to find information about a company that is under 10 billion, even under like 50 billion, right? Because something like Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, you can get 100 different opinions from every which person about these stocks, right? So it's a lot harder when it comes to smaller companies, which is why they usually trade at multiples smaller, and also there's more inherent risk of going bankrupt. It's a lot more likely that a company of 10 billion folds than one of 300 billion. Anyways, but that's all I got. So if you learned anything from this video, if you discovered any stocks, if you liked my opinions or didn't, leave a like under the video. It helps me out a lot, actually. The algorithm really picks up videos when people leave likes and stuff like that. If you want me to go in depth more in these videos, leave a comment. I'll do any video. I'll do at least a decent outline, but also I want to do deep dives of all these stocks eventually. Those take a long time to record and longer to research. But anyways, these are the stocks I'm buying. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, I just appreciate all you guys watching. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.